People who born deaf. How's your inner voice sound? Are you just speak sign long in your head? Hi. Born profound deaf person here. Sorry for the long post. OMGO. Before I got surgery for my cochlear implant, before learning ASL, I don't exactly recall knowing about any mental functionalities, like using a thinking voice. Most of my mental uses were reimagining images in visual thoughts. If I wanted a hot dog, I'd visualize a hot dog. Besides that, my dreams were like silent films. And 95% still often are silent even after my surgery to help me hear. After that and being able to hear for some years. At some point, I developed an inner voice, which just doesn't have any clear vocal sound to it. Yet, at the same time, kind of does. Kinda weird, hard to explain. It's a jump between muffled, speaking, sound as I think, and hollow echoes for my normal thinking voice. And when I read fiction with characters, for those who have preset voice, I reimagine them in my head as to how they would act it out in. It would sound just like the tone I'd hear from the media they're from. For the stories that aren't adapted into any audio format, I make them up in my head and try to make them sound distinct if I felt like it. Haha. My friends, non-see, have told me they either don't mentally see, hear, anything at all and have no idea the concept I'm trying to explain, or they visualize floating hands signing to them in their mind space. I don't think in the latter at all. Except when there are signs I'm trying to remember, reference. Also, side note by the way, back to my dreams thing. I sometimes dream them with semi-transparent CC subtitles hovering what I'm seeing. Sometimes at the bottom or near people's heads like in some video games, just without the speech bubbles. Or none at all. But my dreaming brain narrates my dreams to me, telling me info somehow? IDK if that's a deaf thing though. But I've always found how I dream kind of fascinating. The very rare sounds I hear in my dreams is kind of hard to explain as well. I can't tell if they were close to authentic to a deaf person with hearing that my brain produced for my dream, or just my brain trying to reimagine the sound in my mental voice while I dream. But it felt like there was legit real sound to it, but on the disorienting, surreal side. I'm not sure why people are making fun of you. It's a legitimate question and I hope someone deaf can explain. But most thoughts we have are conceptual and they're not in words. So if they don't have an inner voice, I don't think they're missing much. But I have no idea if that's the case. A deafie here. Naturally we can't even describe what it sounds like as we don't really understand sound in the way you do. Maybe the basics like deep and high pitches, but the difference between notes or octaves are something only understood through theory, i.e. reading about them. We don't understand what makes a singer good, but we for sure know how to tell if it's a good beat, provided it's loud enough to feel. As such, speaking for myself here, my inner voice is more literally like thinking. A mixture of instinctual understanding and the words that describe the meaning I want to express. I am a writer, so words are quite colorful to me. They convey a myriad of imagination. I also am a philosopher, so I admire and observe closely the metaphysics at play here. Words can occasionally come out in English as it is best expressed through English. Some come out as sign language, as there are sayings that only make sense in sign language. It's a blend of both, as well as the raw emotional output that form my thoughts. Also, there is the silence in between the thoughts. Depends on how much you pay attention, I suppose. Wait, you guys hear a voice when you think? I'm not deaf. But when I was learning ASL I began to think in ASL, where essentially I could feel the muscle Memory of the signs in my head. For example, without actually moving. Think about what it feels like to raise your hand, clench a fist, or write with a pencil. That mental sensation of a recalled muscle movement was how ASL thoughts felt to me. Dunno if this is the same for deaf people, but I found it super intriguing when it started happening to me. Yo, YTF, everyone's so mad about this. The dude asked a question. It should be noted that, even among the hearing, not everyone has an internal monologue. Wow, people really felt like being dicks today in this comment section. Especially you, Vesperzen. Shout out to you going all over this thread being a asshole. My mom is profoundly deaf and I asked her this same question. Totally not a stupid question. She said she thinks in ASL. I have caught her signing to herself just like I sometimes talk to myself. For the first 5 years of my life I was technically deaf. I couldn't hear anything. I remember thinking by closing my eyes and imagining the thing I wanted to think. So I would close my eyes and see my own imaginary world. I can still do it, but only in complete silence. It's a trait I will forever hold, but I'm not mad at it. It can be very helpful in some situations. The way we conceptualize thought differs from person to person. Some people have inner monologues. Some people don't. I imagine deaf people are more likely to not have an inner monologue. I have read that their dreams have people make hand signs, so I guess their mind voice will also be more physical based. I once learned a new language with unique script due to necessity. To increase practice, I would mentally write the word I hear to acclimate what letters are therein. The word. 10 years hence, even now, though I don't use that language that much. When someone speaks words, I make a mental picture of writing those words. Not sure if those are related, but thought that's how it would work. Wow, people feel like being assholes today. I've always wondered this question myself. It's not a dumb question. It's legit. I wanna know too. Great question. Would have to check back later to see if anyone answered you. Edit. And I am also curious as to why people are downvoting this OP's question. Anyone? My parents are deaf. I asked them and they looked at me like I'm crazy. So. Not deaf, but sign language has a different syntax than English. But they can read English. It just gives them headaches because English sentence syntax is different than how ASL English sentences are represented. So I would theorize that they have English word thoughts, but just in a different word order than mainstream, proper English. This is a great question. Now I really want to find out what the answer is. Deaf profound here. Did surgery on right ear at 2. Later left ear at 14 or so. I have inner voice whole time. Never ASL. I learned basic of ASL in high school. So not surprise. Consider I start hearing sound when very young. It's a good question. I supposed it's related to how we was raised. If we was raised doing ASL, then we might ASL in our head. Otherwise voice. 50% of the population doesn't have an inner voice and sees everything in picture. So let's say somebody wants to go and get milk. I'll say it out loud in my head. Other people will see themselves getting milk. Maybe deaf people have that. Totally different sense. But maybe checking our aphantasia can give you some perspective about us who can't imagine visuals. What I'd imagine a blind person also could not do intentionally.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.